Hello everyone, is my voice audible clearly? Hello, is my voice audible clearly? Okay, alright. So, welcome to the HTML and CSS Basics Bootcamp, and I am Aryan Shinde, the instructor of this bootcamp. So, in this bootcamp, we are going to learn the introduction to HTML, then HTML5 new features, and then tags and elements in HTML. Just a minute. Okay, tags and elements in HTML, and then we'll just take an introduction to CSS, and then we'll just learn some basics of CSS, and then we'll create a stylish website from scratch. Okay, so we are going to style the website which we created in the last bootcamp. So in the last lecture of this bootcamp, I'm going to explain the code which we written in the last bootcamp. Okay, and I'm going to show you the website which we created in the last bootcamp. So let me share my screen. Is the screen visible to everyone? No. Now is it visible? Yes. Okay. So let me show you the website. Yeah, here's the website. Okay, so this is the website which we created with very basic HTML. Okay, which we have copied, which we have cloned this website. Okay, so in the last lecture of this bootcamp, we are going to do the styling of this website. Okay, so this is the basic HTML, and this is the final website which we are going to create. Okay, so this background color and this hover effect. Okay, and this bold effect and this underline width. Okay, so this we are going to do in the last lecture of this bootcamp. So let's start today's lecture. So today we are going to take an introduction to HTML. Okay, so let's see the PPT. Just a minute. Okay, so let's see the PPT. So here I have created the PPTs and I will share it in the group. Okay, means you can refer that for yourself. So the first slide, what is HTML? Okay, so the HTML is the standard markup language for creating web pages. So HTML is the very basic language for creating the basic web pages, or we can say advanced websites. Okay, so from basic to advanced websites are created by HTML. As we can see, Amazon, Flipkart, or else Myntra, everything is made by HTML. Okay, HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So let me show the slideshow. Okay, so second point is the HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. So the full form of HTML is Hypertext Markup Language. Okay, so this is the full form of HTML, and then HTML is the standard markup language for creating web pages. It is the first point only, sorry. HTML describes the structure of a web page. Just a minute. Okay, so HTML describes the structure of the web page, means it instructs to the web browser. Okay, it instructs to the web browser how to show the elements. Okay, means we can see here this text box. Okay, this text and this black color box. Okay, and this video box is been instructed by HTML, and it has been styled by CSS. Okay, so this text is also done by HTML. Okay, so this in call, all muted, add people, so this is done by HTML. Okay, HTML consists of a series of tags and elements. Okay, HTML its own language has the series of tags and elements. Means the creator of the HTML has created it in this way that it has many of the tags and elements. Means we can create the basic or advanced web page, okay, as we wish. And the last point is HTML element tells the web browser how to display the content. Okay, so that is like this fourth point, means HTML just describes how to display the content of the website. Okay, now let's see the next slide, which is why to learn HTML? Okay, so the main question is why to learn HTML. So the answer is HTML is used to create a basic to professional website from scratch. HTML just creates the skeleton of the website. In the previous bootcamp, we have seen the difference between web pages and websites. In this bootcamp, we are going to create a stylish website using HTML and CSS. Okay, so HTML, by using HTML, we can create the basic to professional websites, that also from scratch. Okay, HTML just creates the skeleton of the web page, means as the human body is, means the HTML only creates the skeleton of the human body. Okay, likewise it is creating the skeleton of the website. Okay, so in the previous bootcamp we have seen the difference between web pages and websites. So in the previous bootcamp we have seen the difference between web pages and websites. So I will share that difference in the group. Okay, or else I will show it now. Let's see it. I think so it was in day 3. Let's see. No, it wasn't here. Where it is. Just a minute, guys. Yeah, here it is. So here is the difference between websites and web pages. Okay, so the web page. So what is a web page? A web page is defined as the smaller part of the website that includes content like text, media, etc. It also comprises links. Okay, so the first point of the web page is it is a part of a website. Okay, means it is a very smaller part of the website that includes contents like text, media, buttons, etc. Okay, and it also comprises, means it also contains links in itself. Okay, means we can see the navigation bar having links which navigate us to any different pages of the website or any of the other website on the web. Okay, now let's see the first point of the websites. A website is a cluster of different web pages of different topics addressed to certain URLs. Okay, so a website is a bunch of web pages. Okay, likewise a book is a bunch of pages. Okay, so it has been a website is on a particular domain. Okay, so I showed the domain also. This meet.google.com is the domain of Google Meet. Okay, and this are the subfolders, or we can say files, and this are some queries which are done by dynamic websites. Okay, so this is not in our bootcamp. Okay, so let's see the next topic, next part I mean. So the next difference of the web pages is it is a single document displayed by web browser using a specific URL. Okay, so a web page is a single document which we see in the web browser, okay, using a specific URL. As here we can see, let's open the YouTube. Okay, YouTube is the best example for website and web pages. So this is the home page of the YouTube. Okay, this is the home page, and here I can see many of the videos. And when I go to explore, okay, when I go to explore, then here we can see the URL is been changed. Okay, so the URL from youtube.com, it went to /feed/explore. Okay, so this is the difference. So let's see the next difference of website. It is a collection of many documents. Web browser are used to access such document using specific URL. Okay, so website is a collection of many documents, means it is a collection of web pages, okay, which is showed in the specific URL address. Okay, so let's see here. So here we can see the youtube.com is the whole website. Okay, and this explore, subscription are the web pages. Okay, so this home is also a web page, and the a website considers all these pages made from YouTube. Okay, so the web page home, explore, subscription, library, history, and all which we can see here are a full website. and this particular home is a web page. Okay, so this is the difference between website and web page. So this is very important topic to be cleared. Okay, so let's open the day 1. Okay, so this is our current PPT. Okay, so where we were in this bootcamp, we are going to create the stylish website with HTML and CSS. Okay, in the last day of our bootcamp, we are going to create a stylish website which we seen in the starting of the lecture. Okay, that we are going to create in the last day of the bootcamp, and we are going to learn in this 5 days how to create it. Okay, HTML will create a skeleton for our website, and CSS will help us to style our skeleton, means to style our website. Okay, so HTML will just create our skeleton of the website, and CSS will help to wear the clothes to its website. Okay, it was a funny joke. So CSS will be used to style our website. Okay, so we will just style the web page designed in the previous bootcamp. Okay, so we will just style this web page. Where it gone? Wood. Oh, sorry. Yeah, we are going to style only this web page. Okay, this is a web page, not a website. Okay, so we can also call it website because it consists only single page, or else we can just call it a web page. Okay, so this web page is gonna style by us. Okay, sorry. Okay, so let's see the next slide. What is a browser? Okay, the purpose of a web browser means Chrome, Edge, Microsoft Edge we can say, Firefox or Safari, which is in the Apple phones. Okay, is to read HTML documents and display them correctly. So the purpose of the web browsers are to read the HTML documents, or else read the raw code. Okay, raw code we can say of HTML for websites. It just reads the raw code of websites and then generates it to the design form. Okay, means here we have created the code. Okay, so here in the Visual Studio Code, in the previous bootcamp we have created the code, and then we have just opened it in the Chrome. Okay, so the Chrome just converts it to the design format. Okay, a web browser does not display the HTML tags but uses them to determine how to display the document. Okay, so this only I told now. So a web browser does not display the HTML tags and elements. It just takes that tags and elements and just creates its own design, which it was predefined. Okay, so this is the basic design of the web page. So this is the heading. My first heading is the heading, and my first paragraph is the paragraph. Okay, so this is the very basic website from HTML. So let's see the next slide. So let's see the HTML version history. Okay, so is there any doubt till now? If there is any doubt, then clear it now. Is there any doubt? No. Okay, anyone else? Okay, alright. So let's start this HTML version history. So HTML was created by Sir Tim Berners-Lee. Okay, so this is the full name who created the HTML. Okay, so the first HTML was created by Sir Tim Berners-Lee in late 1991. Okay, basically it was created on the end of the 1990. So we will say that it was created in 1991. Okay, but was not released officially. Published in 1995 as HTML 2.0. Okay, so in 1991 it was not officially released by Tim Berners-Lee. Okay, Sir Tim Berners-Lee. It was published in 1995 as the second version of HTML, means HTML 2.0. Okay, HTML 4.1 was published in late 1999 and was a major version of HTML. Okay, so the very popular version of HTML was HTML 4.1, which was published in late 1999, means at the, I think at the end of the year 1999. Okay, and was a very popular version of HTML, and every developer were using HTML for creating websites. Okay, so there are 5 versions of website. So the first one is HTML 1.0, then HTML 2.0, then HTML 3.0, then 4.01, then 5.0. Okay, so the current one is 5.0. Okay, so let's see in the brief. So HTML 1.0. So what features were there in HTML 1.0? So HTML 1.0 was the first release of HTML to the world. Not many people were involved in website creation at the time, and the language was very limited. Okay, so HTML 1.0 was the first released version of HTML, which was created by Sir Tim Berners-Lee in late 1991. Okay, so that is the main topic to be memorized. So it was created by Sir Tim Berners-Lee, don't forget it. Okay, so not many people were involved in website creation at that time. So HTML 1.0 was not much popular as HTML 4.01. Okay, at that time in late 1991. So not many developers were involved in creating the website at that time, and no one was interested in websites and on web. So the first was created was web, www, and then the HTML was created. Okay, so we can see how was websites created on the Chrome, and we can get our answer. Okay, so the language was also very limited, means we can't add videos, audios and all, which is in HTML5. Okay, so there really wasn't much you could do with it bar getting some simple text on the web. Okay, so only we can just put a simple text in our website. Okay, that was only the feature in HTML 1.0. that much only we can do at that time. But now we can add our stylings, and we can just add headings and media, video. Okay, so that all we can add. So let's see the next version. So is there any doubt in HTML 1.0 version? No. Okay, alright. So let's see HTML 2.0. Okay, so HTML 2.0 included everything from the original 1.0 specification, but added a few new features to the mix. HTML 2.0 was the standard for website design until January 1997 and defined many core HTML features for the first time. Okay, so HTML 2.0 included everything that was in HTML 1.0, but some of the new features were added which just mixed them. Okay, which were little bit like we can add headings, and we can just add our paragraphs. Okay, so that we can add in HTML 2.0. okay, at that time in the, I think so, 1997. Okay, and many of the new features were declared from 1997. Okay, from January 1997 many of the new features were released for the first time in the HTML. Okay, so this was also a curve point of HTML. Okay, turning point, we can say turning point of the HTML. It just turned little bit. Okay, 30-degree. So it just turned 90-degree at the point when the HTML5 was released. Okay, so let's see the HTML 3.0 version. Is there any doubt in HTML 2.0 version? Is there any doubt in 2.0 version of HTML? Okay, alright. So let's see the third version, which was HTML 3.0. So a HTML working group led by a man named Dave Raggett introduced a new HTML draft, HTML 3.0. It included many new and improved abilities for HTML, okay, and promised far more powerful opportunities for webmasters to design their web pages. Okay, a HTML working group led by a man named Dave Raggett. So there was a man named Dave Raggett which was working in the creation of HTML. Okay, so he introduced the HTML draft, means he just drafted the new version of the HTML and promised that he would improve the abilities of HTML and do the HTML language more powerful than the HTML 2.0, and he did it. Okay, and the websites were creating slowly. So the developers came very slowly. Okay, means the progress was very slow. Okay, so nothing is there in this version. So let's see the HTML 4.0. So the HTML 4.0 was the final version of the hypertext markup language, or we can say HTML, before the extensible markup language, which was XHTML, and remains the set of markup on which most large websites today are based. Like all HTML levels, HTML 4.0, okay, like all HTML levels, HTML 4.0 was the official recommendation of the World Wide Web Consortium, okay, W3C. So the group that suggests industries standard for the web. Okay, so HTML 4.0 was the final version of the HTML before the XHTML version. Okay, so many of the versions are there of HTML. So let's see it in the Chrome. HTML version history. Okay, HTML version history. So let's see it. Not this. It is not in brief. History of HTML. This is also not in brief. No one is having in brief. Okay, so XHTML was also been created by Sir Tim Berners-Lee. Okay, so before that the HTML 4.0 version was released. Okay, so and remains the set of markup on which the large websites today are based. Okay, so XHTML and HTML 4.0 was a popular version of HTML, and many of the developers used this version of HTML to create their website, okay, which are still now also. Okay, so which was recommended by the World Wide Web Consortium, W3C. Okay, so this is the full form of World Wide Web Consortium. Okay, W3C. Hello, what happened? Okay, so the group that suggests industry standard for the web. Okay, so what is W3C? So W3C just suggests the industry standards for the web, means they just do the marketing for HTML. Okay, so they just suggested, means recommended to HTML 4.0 and XHTML. Okay, and W3C bought the clients for HTML. Okay, means W3C bought the developers for creating website. Okay, I wanna say this. So let's see the next version of HTML, which is last one and which is current version. Okay, so this is HTML 5.0. Okay, so HTML 5.0 is a markup language used for structuring and presenting content on the World Wide Web. It is the fifth and last major HTML version that is a World Wide Web Consortium W3C recommendation. Okay, so this version is also the recommendation of W3C. The current specification is known as the HTML Living Standard. It is maintained by the Web Hypertext Application Technology Working Group, WHATWG, a consortium of the major browser vendors, Apple, Google, Mozilla, and Microsoft. Okay, so HTML5 is a final and the last version of the HTML version, which was also recommended by the W3C, and many of the developers are using HTML5 now also. Okay, so it has been maintained by WHATWG. Okay, the full form of that is Web Hypertext Application Technology Working Group. Okay, so this is the full form of WHATWG. Okay, which is also a consortium group of major web browser vendors. Okay, means it is also like marketing. Okay, it just connects the developers to the web browser. Okay, so let's see what is consortium. What is consortium? Okay, an association. Okay, all right. So this is a company, okay, which does marketing, which just connects the developers to browsers. Okay, so this company does marketing, okay, for HTML. So this is for today's lecture. So today we have seen introduction to HTML, so let's revise it. Anybody having any doubt till now? Anybody having any doubt? No? Okay. So let's revise today's lecture, what we have did now, today. Okay. So first of all, we have seen what is HTML. Okay, so HTML is a standard markup language for creating websites. So we seen it is a standard markup language, and the full form of HTML is hypertext markup language. And then the HTML describes how the web browser will show its elements and tags. Okay, and HTML consists of many of the tags and elements in itself only. Okay, that's all in the first slide. And the second slide, we have seen why to learn HTML. So we have seen that HTML just helps us to create the website from basic to professional, from scratch. And HTML just creates the skeleton of the website, and we just use CSS to style our website. Okay, and we have seen that we will style the designed web page. We will style the web page which we have created in the last bootcamp. Okay, so that we have seen in the second slide. And in the third slide, we have seen what is browser. Okay, what is web browser? So we have seen that web browser just shares information and shows websites. Okay, it just converts HTML documents to a designed web page. Okay, so this web browser does that. And then we have seen HTML version history. So HTML was created by Sir Tim Berners-Lee in late 1991, but was not released officially, and was published in 1995 as HTML second version. And the major version, means popular version of the HTML, was HTML 4.01. Okay, so this was the major version which was released in 1999. Okay, so we have seen here the list of HTML versions. So we have seen them in the brief also. So in the HTML1, we have seen that there was no extra feature than only adding text. Okay, means we can add only text in the HTML 1.0 version. Okay, and not many people were involved in developing websites. Okay, and in the HTML 2.0, we have seen that some people have came, but the HTML 2.0 was having all the features of HTML 1.0, but just added a few features, means like adding heading, paragraphs, and many things. Okay, in HTML 2.0, and was standard language for designing web page till January 1997. And the core HTML feature was introduced for the first time at that time. Okay, at 1997, January 1997. Okay, now the HTML 3.0, and here we have seen that the person named Dave Raggett has was working in the creation of HTML. Okay, so he just drafted a new HTML version and included many of the new features and promised that he would improve the abilities for HTML. Okay, and make far more opportunities for web developers. Okay, so and he did it. Okay, so let's see the next version, which was HTML 4.0. So HTML 4.0 was the final version before HTML XHTML. Okay, the full form of XHTML is Extensible Markup Language. Okay, also it was the recommendation of W3C, which is World Wide Web Consortium, and W3C is a standard, is a company that does marketing for HTML and brings developer to the HTML. Okay, so it just add more developer for HTML. Okay, means it just tells developers to develop their websites in HTML. Okay, so that stuff that they do. Now the last version is HTML 5.0, which is the final version and the current version of the HTML, which was also a recommendation of W3C, which is World Wide Web Consortium, and it has been currently maintained by WHATWG, also known as Web Hypertext Application Technology Working Group. Okay, it is also a consortium of a major web browsers, okay, like Google, Apple, Mozilla, and Microsoft. Okay, so it is also a marketing company which just connects developers and web browsers. Okay, so this all we have done for today's lecture. So thank you for joining.